French President Francois Hollande reforms would force workers to work 2 more years before they can collect their retirement pensions, 43 instead of 41 years to be exact. And that's tough for many workers to accept from a socialist government, which is expected to protect entitlement spending. Former Conservative President Nicolas Sarkozy tried similar reforms. Then he was met with widespread protests. But this time, there seems to be less resistance. Kate Parkinson finds out why.
The pension reform bill is one of the flagship pieces of legislation of Francois Hollande's presidency. The reform aims to fill a hole in the pension coffers by raising contributions for both firms and workers. But economists say it is nowhere near ambitious enough.
It's just so light that nothing's going to change. We have a problem with a huge deficit, which is supposed to be of 20 billion euros in 2020. And this one is supposed to solve probably in the best solution, the best way, the best hypothesis, 5 billion euros.
But pension reform is a contentious issue. And in 2010, France was rocked by weeks of strikes and protests when the government of President Nicolas Sarkozy increased the retirement age from 60 to 62. Hollande's less radical approach has triggered much smaller protests, but his popularity is plummeting. A recent poll showed his approval rating has sunk to just 26%. And while voters are losing faith in the socialist government, the far-right Front National Party is gaining ground.
In France today, we have problems with employment. Unemployment is going up and will continue to rise until the end of 2014. We have a problem with purchasing power, which is getting worse. And as all this is happening, we have the Front National adopting a populist stance, proposing solutions such as increasing salaries, tackling unemployment, without explaining how they're going to finance these measures. I think the social misery has certainly given a boost to the Front National.
It was the poet John Lydgate who famously said, "You can never please all of the people, all of the time." But with his pension reforms, President Francois Hollande appears to be pleasing no one. Economists say the changes will barely make a dent on France's growing pension deficit. Brussels has signalled its clear dissatisfaction with what it calls France's meagre pension reforms, and even the unions aren't happy, with traditional left-wing voters apparently turning their backs on the president. Kate Parkinson, CCTV, Paris.